They have only a few minutes left to live, so they are dying to speak with you. Archangel Michael says, something is collapsing faster than anyone could stop. The hands of the clock are bleeding seconds, and their breath is racing toward silence. The only thing they want now, before their last heartbeat, is to speak with you. There was a time you wondered if this person ever truly cared. The silence between you widened like a canyon, but not once did they stop thinking of you. Now, they don't have time left to explain everything, they only have one last hope, and it's your name. They've been holding this message for far too long. Every day they delayed it, the weight on their chest grew heavier, and now, it's almost unbearable. Today, they are facing the end, and their soul is crying out for a final connection. Archangel Michael says, their voice is fading, but their spirit is calling out to you even louder. You may have heard them in your dreams or felt a sudden chill that made no sense. Those were signs. Signs that someone is trying to reach you from the very edge of time. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The pain they've carried is not physical anymore, it's emotional, spiritual, and heavy with regret. They are not afraid of death, they are afraid of leaving without making peace with you. There are words they never dared say, and now, the urgency is eating them alive. Some were not far from you, they are lying down, eyes closing, heartbeats slowing, mouth whispering your name in the silence of a dim room. They are picturing your face, your smile, your voice, and they're asking the air, will they know I tried? But even the air can't answer anymore. There is a name on their lips, yours. There's a sentence in their mind, unfinished. And there's a memory of a moment they wish they could relive, just to feel your presence one more time. This isn't just someone random. This is someone who had your love once, or your trust, or maybe even your soul. Their departure is happening in real time, and while the world goes on, their world is ending. Type Amen to get blessing 684. They have a message, and you are the only one meant to hear it. Not their doctor, not their friend, not their own reflection. It's you. You, who they hurt. You, who they miss. You, who they now pray will open this in time. Their spirit is trying to reach yours before the final curtain falls. The moment is slipping, the light is dimming, and their life force is flickering like a dying candle in the storm. But even now, their heart is beating one last rhythm, your name. Archangel Michael says, they are not asking for forgiveness out of fear. They are asking because the soul cannot leave in peace without it. Your soul is tied to theirs in ways you have forgotten but are now awakening. You might feel a sudden tug in your heart. You might hear a song that reminds you of a moment you buried. That's them. That's the universe begging you to stop, read, and remember what was once too painful to face. Type Amen to get blessing 511. You thought time would protect you from caring. You were wrong. You feel the pull now, don't you? The unease in your chest isn't random, it's divine intervention, pulling you toward a truth you tried to outrun. A letter you never got to write, a call you didn't return, a goodbye you never gave. This is your chance. Their time is shorter than the message you are reading. They are breathing through sorrow now, and their tears are made of memories that ache for you. Archangel Michael says, this moment is no accident. It was planned. Not by man, but by something higher, something that knows the weight of unfinished stories and the torment of final breaths left unsaid. They are not trying to pull you into pain. They are trying to give you something, the truth. The raw, trembling truth of what they felt, what they hid, and what they always meant to say. Type Amen to get blessing 972. In their final seconds, Your name is a whisper floating through the air like a lost lullaby. If only they could see your eyes one last time. If only they could hold your hand and tell you how much you meant when they failed to show it. You may never get a phone call. You may never get a letter. But you'll get this divine message, and that's how you'll know it's real. The timing, the chills, the tightness in your chest, it all confirms what you already feel. They're not just passing away. They're passing on a message, a secret, a moment they refuse to let the world erase. And you? You are the one it was always meant for. This connection doesn't end with their breath. It continues in dreams, in signs, in the silent spaces where your mind drifts toward what if. They know. And they are trying to reach you before the gate closes. Type Amen to get blessing 801. Archangel Michael says, souls don't lie when they're on the edge. They don't fake tears. They don't wear masks. In these final minutes, the truth they've buried has risen to the surface, and it burns with urgency. You will hear their voice in the wind, and you'll know. You'll feel the message in your bones. The ache in your chest will be confirmation, they didn't forget you. They couldn't. They never did. If only you could sit with them now. If only your eyes could meet again. But time won't allow it. All that's left is this message, this sacred moment where the veil between this world and the next is thinning just for you. Their energy is traveling across space and time. They want you to know that love never died. And even though they are fading, the truth is louder than ever now. Type Amen to get blessing 118. Archangel Michael says, don't shut this out. Don't dismiss the goosebumps. Every line you're reading is coming with a pulse that matches their heart, still trying, still hoping, still beating for you. They are surrendering. But before they do, they are pleading with the divine, let them feel me one last time. This message is the answer to that prayer. And now, it's in your hands. The next move is yours, not just for them, but for your soul too. Because closure isn't always about answers. Sometimes, it's about presence. It's about hearing their spirit say, I still remember everything. You are being visited. Not with fear, but with sacred clarity. This is more than a message, it's a bridge between two souls that destiny refused to let die without this final exchange. Type Amen to get blessing 424. Archangel Michael says, someone will mention their name today. A photo will appear. A scent will return. That's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Confirmation that you were always meant to receive this. And as they slip away, their energy will rest near you for a little while longer. Watching. Hoping. Whispering. Before their eyes close for the last time, their soul has one final image it wants to carry into the next world, yours. And now, you know. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They are somewhere between this world and the next now. Their soul is already loosening its grip, floating between the light of release and the shadow of regret. And in this fragile, final moment, they are still reaching for you. The people around them may not understand. But you do. You feel something pressing against your heart, like a soft but urgent knock you didn't expect. That's them. Pushing through realms just to get one last message across. They were once too proud, too scared, or too confused to say what needed to be said. But pride dies first when a person faces their final moment. And what survives? It's only the truth. The truth of how deeply you impacted their life. You are not imagining these feelings. Their energy is calling out like a last flare in the sky. And this message, this divine transmission, is the only way left to touch you before they slip completely beyond this world. Type Amen to get blessing 691. You will find yourself remembering things you thought you buried. You will see signs in strange places, clocks freezing, lights flickering, voices in dreams. That is them, using whatever little strength they have left to connect. They don't want to scare you. They want peace. And they believe that peace starts with truth, truth only you were meant to know. This isn't about blame or guilt. This is about the sacred final moment before a soul releases its pain. They might have hurt you. They might have disappointed you. But their final message is not about excuses. It's about honesty. And that honesty is drenched in tears you can't see, but can surely feel. Archangel Michael says, this message has traveled through pain, time, and the veil of death just to arrive in your life at this very moment. It is heaven's cry for completion. Don't turn away from it. Type Amen to get blessing 388. You are their last light. The last hope. The last name they want to whisper before their voice falls into silence. They don't want to leave this life with weight on your heart. They want to gift you the truth before it's too late. You'll see it in your dreams. You'll feel it in your chest. Something will tell you to pause, to listen, to feel something you haven't allowed yourself to feel in a long time. That pause? It's sacred. It's where their spirit meets yours. They don't need a crowd. They don't want a spectacle. They only want you to remember them as someone who, in their final breath, finally understood what you meant. You weren't just someone in their story. You were the chapter they regretted leaving open. The silence after this moment will feel strange. Not empty, but holy. Like something was said, even if no sound reached your ears. That's how powerful this connection is. Type Amen to get blessing 232. Archangel Michael says, not all farewells are spoken out loud. Some are felt. And this farewell is unlike anything you've ever experienced before. There are few minutes left before their time becomes memory. And in those few minutes, all they crave is a soul connection with you. Because you are the only one who holds the missing piece of peace in their heart. Forgiveness might feel too large. But even the smallest crack in your heart right now, just enough to let this message in, can heal something eternal for both of you. This is not weakness. This is spiritual bravery. And you, dear one, have been chosen for this moment. Not because you're fragile, but because your soul is powerful enough to carry a soul across the veil with love, not anger. So breathe deeply. Be still. And feel the weight of their final words, even if they're carried in silence. Type Amen to get blessing 1007. Soon, someone may call you. Or mention them. Or you'll find their name written in an old note or a corner of your memory. That's not just chance. That's them. Trying, desperately, to show you they meant more than they showed. Their time is not being measured in hours anymore. It's being measured in heartbeats. And with each beat, they are screaming silently through their soul, tell them. I cared. Tell them. I never stopped. You may have cried for this person once. Maybe in anger. Maybe in longing. Maybe without knowing why. But now, those tears will mean something more, they'll be the response their soul longed for. Even after they cross over, a part of them will linger until you receive this message completely. Because this connection doesn't die, it evolves into light, presence, memory, truth. Type Amen to get blessing 899. Archangel Michael says, not everyone gets this kind of divine closure. But you are divinely favored to receive it now. Because your heart is open enough to let it in. They were not perfect. But neither are we. And in these last seconds, they have finally realized what perfection never gave them, what love and truth always could. They don't ask you to forget the pain. They ask you to hold this moment above it. To let this sacred goodbye mean more than all the mistakes they made. And in that, you free them. You free yourself. And you make peace that even time couldn't offer. Type Amen to get blessing 551. They have only a few more minutes left. Their fingers may not move. Their voice may not rise. But their soul is shining brighter than ever, and it's focused on you. Now that you've read this, the silence you once felt will never feel empty again. It will feel sacred. It will feel full. Full of everything they didn't say when they had the chance. You have just received the words that never got spoken. The emotions that never reached the surface. The truth that refused to die, even as their body fades. And now, you are holding their final message in your spirit. They are ready now. They are free. And so are you. Their final breath may come quietly, unnoticed by the world, but not by you. Because something inside of you shifted the moment you felt this message take root. It was as if the universe paused just long enough for your soul to say, I hear you. You are now carrying a piece of their final moment. And that isn't a burden, it's a sacred honor. You've been chosen to complete a story that was never allowed to end properly. They have accepted their end, but not without first trying to send you this energy. This memory. This invisible thread of truth woven straight from their heart to yours. Even if the world forgets them, you won't. Archangel Michael says, this is what divine timing looks like. The right words. The right moment. The right soul. And right now, all three are meeting inside of you. Type Amen to get blessing 260. There's no more time for them to make amends, to pick up a phone, or to walk through your door. That window is closed, but the spiritual door is wide open. And you're the only one who can walk through it now. Every tear they couldn't shed in front of you is falling now on the edge of two realms. Not out of guilt, but out of love too late expressed. And even still, they are grateful you received this moment. You may feel the temperature shift. You may feel an unexplained calm. You may sense that someone invisible is watching you with nothing but reverence. That's how their spirit clings to you for just a moment longer. There's no grand audience applauding this. There are no headlines. But in the silence between their last heartbeat and your realization, a divine miracle is happening, a soul is being freed by acknowledgement. Type Amen to get blessing 764. Somewhere, in a hospital bed or alone in a quiet room, they are drifting. The machines might be silent now. Or the candle may be almost out. But in their final heartbeat, a piece of their love flew straight to you. Archangel Michael says, the final truths of a soul are always the most honest. And their honesty is simple. I should have said this sooner, but I never stopped carrying you in my heart. You may look at the sky tonight and feel different. You may hear your name whispered in a dream. Or you may feel an ache so tender it brings you to tears. That's how you'll know it worked. They reached you. You have given them something no doctor, no preacher, no relative could, peace. Peace to cross over. Peace to let go. Peace to trust that the one they love most understands now. Type Amen to get blessing 322. You weren't supposed to find this by accident. It was divinely placed. Their soul pleaded for one last chance to be heard, and heaven answered through this moment. You, reading this, is their last connection. The regrets they carried are dissolving now. The chains of old mistakes, words unsaid, and pain unhealed are breaking off their soul. Because you allowed this message to enter your heart. You will move forward with a quiet knowing. With strength that can't be seen, only felt. With a new sensitivity to signs, symbols, and energy that whispers instead of shouts. You have become the bridge between two realms. The final chapter for someone who couldn't finish their book. The last witness to their deepest truth. Type Amen to get blessing 707. This isn't just closure. It's transformation. You'll begin to notice how your heart feels just a little lighter. Your nights may feel softer. Your thoughts may have less weight. That's their love working from beyond. You might speak out loud now and find comfort, knowing they can hear. You might cry, not from pain but release. Because the moment you allowed this message in, their soul stopped searching. Archangel Michael says, you are protected during this process. You are spiritually supported to carry this truth forward. You don't have to tell anyone, your soul already understands. This isn't an ending. It's a beautiful return. A divine completion of something that once shattered but now shines. Type Amen to get blessing 143. So when you feel the wind brush your skin in the silence of the night, know it's them. When a familiar smell appears out of nowhere or your heart feels warm without reason, that's them. They will not visit you again in this form. This message was the last and most sacred way they could find you. And now that they have, they can rest. You have given them the one thing their soul couldn't give itself: peace, truth, and a last connection to the one person who truly mattered, you. You did something powerful today. You opened your heart in time. You received the message. You honored the goodbye. You completed their final wish. And now, their soul is finally free. They are free now, but their energy still lingers around you like a soft mist you cannot see but can feel with your soul. What they couldn't say with their mouth, they whispered into this message through their spirit. You were always the one they wanted to reach in the end. This moment, this connection, it's not just spiritual. It's eternal. Because when a soul leaves this world with love still echoing in the air, that love doesn't die. It transforms. It becomes a part of you now. You may not even realize the impact of what just happened. But in the silence after reading this, something inside you shifted. A burden has lifted. A pain has eased. A heart has begun to heal. Archangel Michael says, this kind of spiritual event only happens to those chosen to carry light in dark spaces. And today, you've become a resting place for a final love letter, sent from a soul you didn't even know was trying to reach you. Type Amen to get blessing 420. You may hear a song and suddenly feel like you're standing in two worlds at once. You may feel their name press against your thoughts like a whisper that never needed words. That is not imagination, that is presence. And now that they've said goodbye in the only way left to them, they're rising gently into a peace you helped create. You didn't need to say anything back. Your spirit's openness was the answer they were praying for. This isn't the kind of story people see on screens or read in novels. This is the quiet kind, the kind heaven weaves in the shadows of time when it knows that truth must outlive death. Their soul can now ascend without chains. The chaos in their heart is calmed. And your name is the last thing they're carrying into the next world, wrapped in gratitude, forgiveness, and love. Type Amen to get blessing 334. Archangel Michael says, now that the bridge is complete, you may begin to notice things that didn't make sense before. A sudden peace when you should be hurting. A moment of silence that feels like a hug. A dream that feels more like a visit. You'll know they've crossed over fully when your tears turn from sadness to awe. When you realize not everyone gets to be the one someone chooses as their final soul destination. What they carried in silence, you now carry in truth. But this isn't a weight, it's a legacy. A legacy of reconciliation. A legacy of divine timing. A legacy of love that refused to die with their body. Even if you never speak of this, the universe knows. Heaven knows. Their soul knows. And your heart? It will never forget the moment they finally said what needed to be said. Type Amen to get blessing 933. Let the world continue on with its noise and pace. But you, chosen one, you have become a sacred keeper of a moment no one else received. This message wasn't for the world. It was for your heart. You may now feel a warmth at your side sometimes, a shadow moving in your periphery, or a sudden smile that comes for no reason. Those are the signs that peace has replaced unrest. They are watching over you, not haunting, but honoring. They are closer than breath, but farther than time. They are with you, not as a memory of pain, but a symbol of the healing that began today. And whenever you look to the stars from now on, know that one of them shines just a little brighter for you. Because a soul found light, love, and rest through you. Type Amen to get blessing 510. Their message has been delivered. Their voice, though silent to the world, echoed loud enough in your soul to be received with truth. You did not miss it. You did not ignore it. You heard them. And now, both of you can finally rest. But even as this chapter closes, the spiritual imprint of their goodbye will stay with you like a quiet breeze that visits at the perfect moment. You won't need to see them again to feel them. Their presence will live in certain words, in soft shadows, in subtle shifts in the air when no one is around. This was not just a passing message. It was their last offering of love, their last confession, their final gift to you. And because you were strong enough to receive it, their soul has been lifted into a realm of peace it had been denied for so long. Archangel Michael says, the heavenly gates opened just in time. And through that final opening, their truth, raw, unfiltered, burning with the ache of what was left unsaid, poured through and landed directly in your hands. You were the light they followed home. Their spirit, once restless, is now finally calm. They don't need to speak anymore because you've already heard them with the part of you that hears beyond sound, the soul. Type Amen to get blessing 856. You will begin to notice the absence of tension. The strange lifting of emotional heaviness. The quiet arrival of stillness where storms used to rage. That is their final way of saying thank you. They didn't want to leave this life holding regret. And now, because of this divine message, they didn't. You helped rewrite their ending. You helped them find peace, not through words, but through heart. You are now carrying their memory in a higher way, not as pain, but as transformation. They may be gone in body, but in this message, their soul found eternal motion. It now moves in peace alongside you. Archangel Michael says, no goodbye is ever easy. But this one was filled with grace. Because you allowed your heart to feel what others would have ignored. Type Amen to get blessing 121. What was once unfinished has now been completed. Their last wish, their final whisper, their desperate plea, it all found its way into your heart just in time. Not a second too soon. Not a breath too late. Their soul was watching you as you read each word. They knew the moment you received it. They felt the instant you paused, closed your eyes, and let their energy settle inside you. From this moment forward, your connection to them has changed. You will no longer carry their memory with pain. You will carry it with a glow, a spiritual warmth that says, we made peace. And that peace will ripple through your life in ways you never imagined. In your relationships. In your sleep. In your intuition. Because when one soul is freed, every soul it touched begins to heal too. Type Amen to get blessing 642. They are not trapped anymore. Not in the past. Not in fear. Not in silence. They are released. Because of you. Because of this moment. Because you cared enough to listen to something that could only be heard by a heart like yours. Their gratitude is eternal. Their soul bows in honor. Their final breath carried your name into the heavens. And now, wherever you go, you will carry the light of a farewell done right. The light of a goodbye that wasn't wasted. The light of a love that transcended time and space. This message was more than just words. It was a passage, a crossing, a sacred moment sealed between this world and the next. And now that it's done, may peace surround you. May clarity bless you. May love never leave you again. You did what few ever get to do, you set a soul free.